Hello guys and welcome to hashtag I Was Here by your brand new socialite host myself, Stephanie. Now for those of you who viewed my very first intro video that dropped last week, thank you so much for the wonderful turnout. I love you guys. Thank you so very much. And for those of you who didn't get the opportunity to watch it, that is totally fine. If you ever get the chance, please go watch that first video so you can kind of understand what my channel is about and what I'm about to be talking about in today's video. So today's video is focused on self-determination and motivation. Now before y'all swipe out, this is a story time. But before I get into my story time, I want to explain my thought process of self-determination and motivation and how they both go hand in hand. Alright, so I'm the kind of person that thinks very deeply. And when I think about motivation, the first thing that comes to mind is, alright, I need to have a goal. I need to set a time frame for the goal. And I need to have an execution plan for my goal. With the execution plan comes the idea of self-determination. I have to be self-determined to know that, all right, this is something that I'm motivated to do. But if I don't have that self-determination, which is that drive to do it, am I going to get it done? No, I'm not. So motivation, self-determination come together. You make one big happy family of something great. And with that being said, here goes my story time. So about 14 years ago, my mother, she was working as an administrative assistant at a child and family care services program in the Bronx. And as an admin assistant, she wasn't always treated the best because she was kind of looked down upon because, number one, English wasn't her native language. And number two, she didn't have her degree. She just, had just come from a different country. Things were different for her. And it wasn't just, very easy for her. So for years after having her little kitties, me and my brother, she was working as an admin assistant, a 9-to-5 job every single day, well, Monday through Friday, getting home after, we live in Brooklyn, so she was working in the Bronx. So y'all know how that goes. 2 hours on the train to and from. So that's a whole 4 hours to get to and from work. During those time periods when she would get home at like 7, take care of her little kitties, do whatever, and she kind of felt like over time that her life had just become repetitive. Okay, I'm gonna go to work 9 to 5. I'm gonna go take care of my kids when I come back home, go to sleep, do the same thing the following day. And I feel like, to my knowledge from what my mother has told me, she just felt like she had more of a purpose. She had more that she could be providing to this world than just doing her 9 to 5 and going home. So one day she had called up one of her friends like, yo, I need your help. I need you to make sure that I get into a college that not get into a college, but I want you to make sure that I take the correct steps to get into school and, do what I feel might be best for me and my family. And she's like, yo, I need your motivation. I need your push. I need you to push me to do it. And one of her good friends definitely took the advice and was like, all right, I got you. I will definitely help you out. So I believe it was August of 2003. One of her good friends pulled up like, yo, Solange, we out, let's go, we're gonna sign up for these classes and we're gonna do it. And for some reason my mom was not really motivated that same day that they had asked her, but her friend was persistent and consistent, like, yo, you need to get up, you need to do this, we need to do that, we need to get all of our work out of the way so you can make sure that you are going to the school, that you are signing up for these classes and you're getting these things done. So basically I believe in August of 2004 or 2003, I don't remember which year it was specifically, but that August she signed up for school, and during that time period, I guess her and my father decided to speak things out, like, yo, we got little kitties, what are we gonna do? And I guess her and my father came to an agreement of him spending more time with us and taking care, just splitting the work, not 50-50. It's not going from 50-50 to like 70-50. During the time period of my mom deciding to go back to school and my father stepping up, my father, oh my goodness, if you know me, you know that, number one, I look like him. I know I'm going to have some comments saying that I don't, but I definitely believe that I do. But anywho, my father has had an amazing impact on our lives. And during that time period of him stepping up, he has definitely molded me a lot during that time period. My father is the kind of man that believes that without education you are not getting anywhere, and he instilled that, literally instilled it into my soul. He used to make me spend months worth of reading and doing math and science and social studies in just the two months of summer, I would learn like a whole year's worth of education, because my father was here pushing those things into my brain. And just, this is just a sidebar story, but I just wanted to say thank God for my dad, who definitely instilled this extreme work ethic in me, because if it wasn't for him doing these things when my mom had to sit back a little bit, I don't think I would definitely be where I am today, especially educationally wise, if it wasn't for him. So shout out to you, Pops, I love you. Anywho, back to the story. So as my mother had to take a little backseat, my father stepped up, and every single day after school, while my mother, she would go to work from 9 to 5, she had to still remain in her job while she was in school, taking care of her kids, taking care of her family. She was balancing a million and one things at once. But my mother would go to work from 9 to 5, get out at 5, rush to school for 7, I believe, and then sometimes she would be in school from 7 to 9 or 7 to 10, then come home and take care of her kiddies and repeat the same process over and over. So that kind of toll that not only it takes on her family but on her as a human too is a lot to bear. But that was her routine / daily routine for a few years, from the time I was exiting 2nd grade, so going on to 3rd grade, until I believe I was in 6th grade. So, and then in the middle of 6th grade, my family and I had an extreme family life emergency, family life crisis. That story I will soon tell you guys, sooner or later. But yes, we had a big family crisis that caused my mom to have to take some time out of school, some time out of work. So it kind of put her back a bit. But after she took that time off, I believe she took about a year off. So she returned to school, I believe, when I was in 7th grade. And that was probably 2011, spring 2011, she returned back to school. So a year later, after she returned back to school, she graduated with her associate's degree in science. So yay, mommy! So as you can see, I just said science, and I kind of probably, I'm not sure. Well, actually, yeah. I think I probably have gotten my drive / craziness about science from my mother, because me and her both are crazy science people. And my mother was majoring in science because she wanted to go for her BSN in, does BSN stand for nursing? Who knows? But I know she wanted to become a registered nurse in the future. But my mother was dying to become a nurse, and for some reason, when she finally was able to get into nursing school, things were a little too difficult for her. Things were very, very, very tough for her, and it was hard to manage, having a family and being in nursing school, having a husband, having 2 kids, having her mother, taking care of family back in her home country. It was very, very, very difficult for her to balance. So when I was in 9th grade going on 10th grade, I guess my mother decided that maybe being in nursing school was probably not the best idea for her. So she's like, all right, let me pursue something else. And she decided to go with social work. Now, for those of you who are in college and know the college ropes, you know that once you're pursuing a degree in something and you just decide to derange after so many credits of that one degree that you were pursuing, is very hard. And my mother kind of went from like 80 credits to 45, because not all of them from social work, not all of them from her science degree transferred over to social work, and it was just not the best idea. So that kind of gave her another putback. And most of the time when people get setbacks like that, like, they just be like, all right, forget it. It's either I'm just gonna pursue some nonsense, or I'm just not gonna go back to school because I'm over it at this point. Like, it's too much. I'm just being put back. I've been in school for so long, and what am I still doing here, And it was very shocking to see that my mother, after that big putback, she still was like, I'm still doing this. I'm determined. I got a goal. I got this. I got that. I got certain things to fulfill. And that is very motivating for me, because it's just like, wow, if it was me, what? I would be like, it's time for me to get the fuck out of here. Excuse my language, but it's time for me to go, because I'm not doing this. I'm done. I just took this big L for why. Why am I staying? Let me just do something else, or let me just continue to pursue this degree in science, even if I don't like it, because I don't want to go back. But You know, when you have a goal and you have certain things set in your mind and you know that you want something for yourself, nothing's gonna stop you. So that is what was motivating my mother. She had a goal. She had someone that she was determined to be. My mother was like, no matter what, I'm just going straight at it. I'm going for the juggler. I know what I want. I have goals. I have aspirations, and nothing's gonna stop me, even if I'm getting setbacks. So from the time I was in 10th grade until 11th grade, no, not 11th grade, until my first year in college, she was also in college, getting her work done, making sure that, you know, she gets to her goal. And thankfully, after I finished my first year in college, she graduated with her bachelor's degree in social work. So yay, mommy again. Right after her graduation, she decided that she's gonna sign up for her master's program. Now, for months, I was telling her, mom, sign up for Hunter College. Go to Hunter College. Hunter is your best bet. She was ignoring me. She's like, no, I want to go to Yeshiva. I want to go to all these expensive schools that we can't even afford. But for some reason, I think it was God, to be honest with you. I think God had put it in me to tell her to go to Hunter. And even though she ignored me for some time, she finally listened to me and she signed up for Hunter's 1-year accelerated social work, master's in social work program, and she got in, thankfully. And 1 year after that, by God's grace, she graduated with her master's in social work. So yay, mommy again. When I tell y'all, right after graduation, this woman said to me, Stephanie, you know I'm not done. I said, what do you mean you're not done? You're not done with what? You talking about school? Are you crazy? And she really sat there and said to me, yes, I'm talking about school. I'm going for my doctorate. I said, oh no, mom, you need a break. You need to breathe, because you've been in school for how long now? It's about 14 years. Sis was in school for about 13 to 14 years. And she really turned around and told me that she wasn't done. I said, nah, mom, I need a mother now. My dad, he did his rap sheets already. He's done. He's done his race. Like, it's your turn now, mom. And as I said that, she started to tear up, and I'm just like, why are you crying? What's going on? And she's like, it's now hitting her that she has been in school for almost 13 to 14 years of her life. And to hear her say that was just not only an eye-opener, but just I don't know, sometimes you need to vocalize certain things for you to know that they're real. And hearing her vocalize that made us realize how real it was. I never really even paid attention to how long my mother has been in school, part-time, full-time, whichever time. She's alternated between both, but the fact that she was still driven, even after taking setbacks, even after having to stop a few times, she was still driven. She still had this goal in her mind. She was still motivated, and she still wanted to execute her plan because she was self-determined to achieve her goal. And just learning about that story, just all she had to say was that she was there for 13 years, for it to evoke such a huge sense of motivation for me. I was like, damn, Ma, you really been there for that long? Like, our lives have really evolved over the years. And, you know, it was just so shocking to realize, to finally realize, to stop, you know, just not even stopping our lives, but just stopping for one moment. Because sometimes we are always on a race, and we're not even paying attention to where we're going. We just run it because we just run it. We're human. We're living our lives. But we had to take a moment to realize that not only did God do amazing things for her, but she was there for so long. And, you know, I'm so glad to hear that she was there for so long and just kept going. And I feel like that is the motivational aspect of this story. The fact that no matter how many times she was kicked down, no matter how many times she realized that maybe certain things are not for her, she kept going. She was still determined. She was still motivated. She still had a goal. Sorry, I feel like my shirt looks weird. She still had a goal that she wanted to fulfill. And that's where I wanted you guys to not only get the gist of it, but for it to help somebody who needs to hear this. You know, if you have a goal and something set in stone that you want to do with your life, keep going. Don't ever give up. It's one thing to be motivated, but it's another thing to have self-determination to get to your endpoint, to get to your goal. Because I could be motivated today and lose that motivation tomorrow. But if I have my motivation and my self-determination, I'm making it to my goal. And that's one thing that I wanted you guys to understand in this video for today. So to those of you who have made it this far in this video, I thank you so much, and I really hope that this story that I have told you guys definitely has motivated you to continue on your goal, continue on whatever you have planned, continue doing it, keep going. I want you to be motivated, but I also want you to understand the importance of being self-determined to reach your end goal. Thank you for watching, and I promise you guys, because I was so late this week. I know I was so late. I'm gonna drop another video on Monday. Stay tuned. 4 days, 5 days.